In our previous video, we learned about the life processes, nutrition in plants. Okay, so this topic we already covered. So next we are going to learn about how the nutrition takes place in amoeba and how nutrition takes place in human beings. Okay, and we learned that amoeba and including human beings, we have a heterotrophic mode of nutrition. We cannot able to prepare the food materials, but we depends on other living organisms, and more specifically the type of heterotrophic nutrition is holozoic mode of nutrition, where the food materials are taken inside the body of organism, where the nutrients are digested, broken into its simplest form, and the waste materials are eliminated out. Okay, so in amoeba, you might have heard about this organism, right? Irregular shaped body organisms, right? Irregular shaped body. So it comes under a category protozoan. It is an unicellular protozoan. Okay, unicellular organism. It is a protozoan and it is an eukaryote. Okay, maybe you can expect for MCQ. Okay, which category amoeba belongs to. Okay, unicellular protozoan and it is an eukaryotic organism. Okay, now we will discuss about the digestion, how digestion takes place in amoeba. Okay, so in amoeba, the digestion is takes place inside the cell. Okay, I will add on the diagram of the mechanism of digestion in amoeba. So in amoeba, the digestion takes place inside the cell. Before I mentioned that they are unicellular organisms. Okay, so if it is unicellular organism, single celled organism, the ingestion, then digestion, everything going to takes place inside the cell. So when this organism, okay, when it is near a food particle, so you know the what are the parts present inside in their body, right? So pseudopodia, this membrane is called pseudopodia. Okay, so here for amoeba, it is like a finger-like projection, then nucleus, cytoplasm. Okay, so this finger-like projection is called pseudopodia. So, amoeba, when it is near a food particles, it can engulf the food material by using it pseudopodia. So, in this diagram, you can able to see the second diagram. It can able to engulf the food material. Okay, by using its pseudopodia. Okay, so this is the method of ingestion, intake of food materials. Okay, once it is taken inside, this pseudopodial part, the membrane will fuse and it forms a food particle. Sorry, it forms a food vacuole. Okay, now this food vacuole is digested. Okay, so the digestive enzymes are released into the food materials present in the food vacuole. It is digested, the waste materials are released into the cytoplasm. The nutrients also released. The nutrients are assimilated into the cytoplasm. Waste materials are compiled together and it is fused again with the pseudopodia and it is eliminated out. Okay, so this mechanism is called ingestion. Okay, so they intake the food material, that is ingestion, break down the nutrients into its simplest form, digestion, and absorbed into the cytoplasm, it is assimilated, and waste materials are eliminated out, it is egestion. Okay, so hope you understood about the digestion in amoeba. So next we have a topic, human digestive system, how the digestion going to takes place in human beings. So it is human digestive system. Okay, so human digestive system consists of different parts. Okay, we will learn what are the parts present and also we will learn about the glands. Okay, so the major parts of human digestive system. Okay, so we can categorize as alimentary canal, which starts from mouth and ends in anus. Okay, and we will learn about the glands. Okay, so alimentary canal, what are the parts present in the alimentary canal? It starts from mouth, then buccal cavity, esophagus, small intestine, large intestine. Okay, the part of large intestine, rectum and anus. Okay, so these are the parts of alimentary canal. So it starts from mouth and ends in anus. Glands includes in our mouth we have salivary glands. So the parts include stomach as well. Okay. So mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, and rectum. So mouth we have the salivary glands. The next gland present in stomach, it is gastric glands. Okay. The first part of the small intestine, duodenum, liver and pancreas. Okay, liver and pancreas. These two are the digestive glands again. And in small intestine, we have intestinal glands. Okay, so these are the parts of our human digestive system. So now what are the process going to happen in our alimentary canal? Okay, through mouth we will consume the food material, the process called ingestion. Okay, we will take in the food materials. Okay, so ingestion is the process of intake of food material. Okay, while doing ingestion, after doing ingestion, what we will do, we will chew the food. Okay, saliva helps in mixing the food, okay, properly, so that we can chew and we can swallow it. After chewing the food, we will swallow the food materials. Okay, so what is present in saliva? Saliva contain an enzyme. The name of the enzyme is salivary amylase. Okay, salivary amylase. So salivary amylase enzyme helps to break down the carbohydrates. Okay, so breakdown of carbohydrates. So the starch present in the food material is converted into maltose. Okay, and here you have an important question. What is the digestive enzyme present in the saliva? It is salivary amylase. Okay, another important question, where does the digestion begins? So digestion is started in our mouth. Okay, digestion is started in mouth. Okay, so this is another important question. Okay, then after ingestion, we chew the food, we'll swallow it. Okay. So while swallowing, the food is passing through esophagus and finally it reaches the stomach. Okay. So in our digestive system, through the esophagus, the food is moving towards the stomach. It is a rhythmic movement. Okay, the esophageal muscles contract rhythmically to push the food forward, right? So this movement is called peristaltic movement. Okay, the movement is called a peristaltic movement. Okay, after peristaltic movement, now the food reaches the stomach. Okay, so now we will discuss what are the changes happening in our stomach. Okay, here we have some important question in our stomach. Okay, first important question for point is digestion of protein takes place in stomach. Okay, protein digestion, proteins are converted into peptones. So digestion of protein takes place in the stomach. Okay, now what are the other things we have to discuss under the topic stomach? Okay, what are the digestion going to take place? We discussed it is protein. Okay, we learned that gastric glands are present in our stomach, right? So this gastric gland secretes gastric juice, right? Gastric glands secrete gastric juice. Gastric juice contain hydrochloric acid, pepsin, and mucus. Okay, remember gastric juice or gastric gland. What are the content present in the gastric gland? Repeatedly asked 3 mark question in CBSE board exam. So hydrochloric acid to function, it kills the bacteria, creates an acidic medium, and it activates the pepsin. So basically pepsin is present in our stomach as inactive pepsinogen. It is converted into active pepsin. Now, pepsin function already we learned it is involved in the digestion of proteins. Okay, the enzyme which is present in our stomach for the digestion of protein is pepsin. Mucus, it protects the wall of the stomach from this hydrochloric acid. Okay, so gastric juice contain hydrochloric acid, pepsin, and mucus. Okay, so now after the protein digestion, the food enters into the small intestine. Okay, and small intestine you can find out there is an organ, there is a liver and pancreas present. This is the liver. Okay, this is the pancreas. Okay, so we will learn about what is happening in the small intestine. Okay, so first we will discuss about the role of liver. Okay, so liver is the digestive gland. Okay, what is the secretion of liver? It secrete bile. Okay, so the secretion of liver is bile. Where it is stored? The bile is stored in gall bladder. Okay, what is the function of this bile? The function of bile is emulsification. Okay, emulsification means the breakdown of larger fat globules into smaller substances. Okay, smaller globules we call it as emulsification. So liver secrete bile. Bile is stored in gallbladder. The function of the bile is emulsification of fats. Okay, so these three questions repeatedly asked board exam question. Emulsification you can expect for 2 mark question. Other two you can expect for MCQ 1 mark question. Okay, so the next gland is pancreas. Okay, so pancreas is a dual gland. You are learning this pancreas under this chapter, pancreatic enzyme, and also under control and coordination also you will be learning about the pancreas, where we will learn about the role of insulin. So it consists of exocrine and endocrine region. Okay, here we are learning the exocrine pancreas. Okay, exocrine part of the pancreas secretes pancreatic juice. Now this pancreatic juice contain enzymes. Okay, you can expect the question. Name the pancreatic enzymes. Okay, so it is pancreatic amylase, then trypsin, and pancreatic lipase. Okay, pancreatic amylase, trypsin, and pancreatic lipase. Okay, so the term itself you have some clue, right? Amylase is the term related to carbohydrate digestion. Lipase is the term related to fat digestion. Okay, so the protein digesting enzyme in pancreatic juice is trypsin. Okay, so you can expect another important question. Name the protein digesting enzymes. Okay, name the protein digesting enzymes. Okay, we learned two protein digesting enzymes. It is pepsin and trypsin. Okay, pepsin and trypsin. Okay, so pancreatic juice contain enzymes, pancreatic amylase, trypsin, and pancreatic lipase. Okay, so the pancreatic amylase involved in the digestion of carbohydrate, trypsin helps in the digestion of protein, pancreatic lipase helps in the digestion of fats. Okay, now the digestion is not completed here. Okay, we want that end product of complex nutrients. Okay, so again we have this intestinal glands in our small intestine. Okay, so the intestinal glands in small intestine. Okay, intestinal glands in small intestine. Okay, it secretes intestinal juice. Okay, intestinal juice. Now this intestinal juice contain enzymes. Okay, so these enzymes are proteolytic, lipolytic, amylolytic enzyme. That means amylolytic means the digestion of carbohydrate. So, this particular enzymes in our small intestine can convert all the carbohydrates into its simplest form, glucose. Okay, the proteolytic enzyme can convert all the remaining proteins into its simplest form, amino acids. And lipolytic enzyme can convert all the lipids into fatty acid and glycerol. Okay. Now another important question. Where does the digestion completed? Okay. So the digestion is completed. Digestion is completed in our small intestine. Okay. It is completed in small intestine. Important MCQ question. Okay, so the digestion started in our mouth and it is completed in small intestine. Where does the digestion of carbohydrate started? It started in our mouth. Where does the protein digestion started? Protein digestion started in our stomach. Then, what are the protein digesting enzymes? The protein digesting enzymes are pepsin and trypsin. Right? We learn pepsin and in small intestine it is trypsin. Okay. So we learned about what are the processes of digestion in human beings. Right? Where does the digestion takes place? Digestion takes place in our mouth, in our stomach, and in small intestine. Okay, only three region the process of digestion takes place. Okay, so next we will discuss about the mechanism of digestion. Okay, mechanism of digestion. So mechanism of digestion involves ingestion, the intake of food materials, digestion, the breakdown of complex nutrients into its simplest form that occur in mouth, stomach, and in small intestine. Okay, then absorption, assimilation, and digestion. Okay, so we learned about the digestion, then absorption, absorption of nutrients, assimilation, and digestion. Okay. So, ingestion is the process of intake of food materials. So, the nutrients present in the food, okay, we are consuming it. The process we call it as intake of food or ingestion. Okay, it is intake of food materials. Okay, Digestion is the process of breakdown of nutrients into its simplest form. Okay, we learned about digestion and ingestion. Okay, absorption. Where does the absorption takes place? Okay, absorption of nutrients takes place in small intestine. Okay, absorption of nutrients takes place in small intestine. Okay, absorption of water takes place in large intestine. Important MCQ. Absorption of water takes place in large intestine. Okay. In small intestine, what is present in the small intestine to absorb these nutrients? We have finger-like projections called the villi. Okay, so villi and lacteals are present. So villi will increase the surface area for absorption. Okay, and in large intestine, water is absorbed. So hope you understood about the absorption. Now next is assimilation. Okay, what is assimilation? From the small intestine, villi is absorbing all these nutrients, okay, and it is distributed to all the cells and the tissue. Okay, villi is taking in, and these nutrients are distributed to all the cells and the tissue, where it is utilized for the production of energy or building up of new tissues or repairing of the tissues. Okay, so that process is called assimilation. Okay, so after absorption, the undigested waste materials are eliminated out. Okay, so this process is called egestion. Okay, so mechanism of digestion involves ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation and digestion, intake of food materials, break it into simplest form, absorbed by the villi present in the small intestine, and absorption of nutrients takes place in small intestine, and absorption of water takes place in the large intestine, and the nutrients absorbed by the villi is supplied or distributed to all the cells and the tissue for growth or repair of tissues. And after that, all the undigested waste materials are eliminated out through the anus. Okay, undigested waste materials are stored in rectum and eliminated out through anus. Alimentary canal, which starts from mouth and ends in anus, and the glands include salivary glands, gastric glands,